What is popping in your lives today? M-Race89 here, back at the Tuscarora 50. Doesn't look like we're going to get rained on tonight, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. We have 54 cars here tonight for the $60,000 prize. Not only is it the All-Stars and the Posse, the World of Outlaws, well, select World of Outlaws that still have a race left, are here tonight to duke it out. We'll look at that. We'll get into qualifying. And the first flight of time trials, Mike Wagner flipped. That's an unfortunate end to his night. That car was totaled. It doesn't look like we'll be seeing it for the rest of the night. And to top off, Flight A was Logan Wagner. He was the fastest to top a tie for second out of Casey Kane and Buddy Kofoid. Fourth place, Dylan Cisney, the mayor. And fifth place, Sunshine Tyler Courtney. Now moving on to Flight B, we saw Rico Abreu go fastest, followed by, surprise, surprise, Kyle Larson. Those guys have been going at it this week. Obviously, they had a great duel at Bridgeport. Third place, Carson Macedo. Fourth, Justin Peck. And fifth place, Anthony Macri. We're getting into the heats now. It's going to be a loaded heats with action. So many good cars here tonight and $60,000 on the line. Let's get into the heat action.
Looking at the heat races for the 56th Tuscarora 50. In heat race number 1, Logan Wagner went from quick time to a blown motor early in the heat race, caught on. Other than that, it was smooth sailing for Kerry Madsen as he took this heat with Cy Lynch in second place. Looking at heat race number 2, Brian Brown was able to take the second heat, but not without some pressure from Buddy Kofoid, who took the second spot. Heat race number 3, Brent Marks controlled this heat over Zeb Wise. Very easy, smooth sailing for him. Brent Marks looked very good all night. Heat race number 4, we saw Brent Shearer take this heat, not before defending Rico Abreu, who was mad fast, and we'll get into that in just a little bit in the feature. Anthony Macri and Kyle Larson were putting on a show for third in heat race number 5 until Austin Bishop got involved in an accident in turn 4. After the restart, Devin Borden stayed strong up front to hold off the law firm Parker Price Miller to take heat race number 5. Chase Randall started up front for heat number 6 and stayed up there, and Carson Macedo got some pressure for second from Justin Whittall, but held him off to take the second spot. Now it's time to go over the 50-lap crown jewel at the Port Royal Speedway, the Tuscarora 50, with $62,000 on the line, and Brent Shearer, Chase Randall, started on the front row and led the field to the green. On the start, Randall looked very fast and was shot out of a cannon as he took an early lead. On lap 2, Brent Marks, no surprise here, moved into third place to get past Brian Brown. On lap 6, we saw our first caution as Parker Price Miller got into the wall of turn 4, sending him to the back. One thing I want to point out, as only 6 laps went by, Kyle Larson was able to move from 14th to 8th very quickly. No surprise there. On the restart, Randall had a nice early lead, and Brent Marks was able to move into second place and start challenging. On lap 17, TJ Stutz had an issue, bringing out a yellow, puts Randall and Marks up front for a quick dash to halfway before another quick yellow came out due to Casey Kane getting into the wall. Another restart led to another crash as Devin Borden was in a massive incident, as you can see what was left of the car. Thankfully, he was okay. This next restart did finally get us to halfway, and Brent Marks was able to move into the lead, and Chase Randall was in second. Third place at the halfway mark was Brian Brown, fourth Brent Shearer, and fifth Rico Abreu. Now getting into the restart, on lap 29, Rico was able to move his way up into fourth. And another person that was moving with him was Buddy Kofoid as he moved into the top 5, passing Shearer. The moment of the race happened on lap 34 when Brent Marks went to lap TJ Stutz on the inside, but the door was slammed shut and Brent spun around out of the lead. This would hand the lead back to Chase Randall with Brian Brown second, Rico third, and Buddy Kofoid fourth. On the restart, Rico's car suddenly stopped through the first turn. This pretty much ended his night, sent him to the back, which is unfortunate because he was really working his way up there and could have potentially won this race. On the next restart, Buddy Kofoid was able to move up into second place, and he was looking like a great challenge for Chase Randall. Lap 38, once again, we're going to be talking about this man a little bit more before the end. Kyle Larson moved into fourth place, and he was charging. With 7 to go, unfortunately, the second place car, Buddy Kofoid's car, lost power, bringing out another caution. Randall would lead with Brown and Larson close behind. On the restart, Brian Brown would get by Randall after some contact after turn 2 as Larson followed him. Brian Brown, luckily, was able to keep Larson behind him with a steady lead over the last few laps to take the $62,000 prize and the 56th Tuscarora 50 at the Port Royal Speedway. Looking at the rest of your top 10, as mentioned, Kyle Larson finished in second place. Third place was Chase Randall, a fantastic effort by him tonight. Unfortunately, couldn't close the deal. Fourth place, Brent Shearer. Fifth, Carson Macedo, the highest finishing outlaw in this show. 6th, Kerry Madsen, ran a great race, very consistent in the top 5, but slipped back to 6th there at the end. 7th, Anthony Macri, he was the hard charger of the night. Zeb Wise was in 8th. Logan Schuchart rounded out a good finish in 9th, and Tyler Courtney went from 17th to 10th in the last 5 laps. That is something I missed, but I did check. He was in 17th going into that final restart. And thank you guys for tuning in to this recap of the 56th Tuscarora 50. We only had to wait a month for this race to actually finish. We saw qualifying a month ago, and we finally got the checker flag tonight, so it was great to see. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will be at Port Royal all weekend, trying to get out as many videos as I can before we have to say goodbye to Port Royal for the 2023 racing season. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.